Hello, my sexy, soulful Sagittarius. Welcome, welcome. I am Sachi the Scorpio, and I am here to deliver your guided healing tarot for the month of February. Please like, comment, and subscribe. The more energy that you send to me, the more energy that I can send to you. And thank you for all of your support and likes on this channel, Sagittarius. I truly do appreciate it. I want to let you know that starting next month, whichever video gets the most likes, not only will it be first in next month's segment, but I'm also doing a bonus twin flame reading. So hit the like button if this resonates. So let's hop into it, Sagittarius. This is what came out in the cleansing ceremony. We had Malkuth, ground, the angel of the kingdom, in reverse. So this is telling me that you're not feeling very grounded at the moment. You might not feel like you have your kingdom. There could be some sort of situation with housing or maybe your community of just really not feeling grounded. And, you know, most of us aren't feeling grounded, Sagittarius. I'll give you that. You know, don't feel like you're alone in this. We have 4 planets, you know, including Mercury, which is retrograding, plus the sun in Aquarius, right, which is fixed air. So there is a lot of air energy, and we have Mars that's going to be shifting into Gemini soon as well. So we're going to have so much air, and, you know, when there's a lot of air, it's hard to ground, right? We have Uranus in Taurus, which is fixed earth, so that's kind of helping us ground, and we do have Mars in Taurus right now, but pretty much everything's up in the air. And it feels like, Sagittarius, with your fire, you know, you're picking up on that the most, right? Because fire will always, you know, react to air. So it does feel like, you know, it's getting hard for you to ground right now, that you're feeling like things are up in the air. We had the 8 of Wands come out, which is telling me that there is some sort of cycle that is repeating. Because it's Wands, it can be love, lust, passion, intensity, but it's something that is repeating in the way that you are manifesting something. Okay, it does feel like you are, you know, taking responsibility for how things are repeating. But yeah, this is definitely, it can also be Kundalini creative potential, something that you are repeating. But this cycle that's repeating has to do with the 7 of Swords. And for me, this has to do with soul contracts and how you are filing things away, how you're filing information away in your mind, how you are filing soul contracts with one-on-one relationships with others. This is very Libran energy. And you're noticing a repetitive cycle, and it's with the Emperor in reverse. So this is the highest form of divine masculine energy in reverse. So it looks like you're finding a cycle of repeating, that you're just not getting that divine masculine energy upright that you need, right? And if you aren't having that divine masculine energy, right? And divine masculine is structure, is, you know, solidity, you know, it's the material, the physical, what you can see, what is tangible, as opposed to the divine feminine, which is, you know, the magic, which is the unseen, which is the flow, the chaos. If you don't have the divine masculine energy necessary, of course you are going to feel ungrounded. So it does feel like a lack of divine masculine energy, you know, within you and around you is really what's causing, you know, this ungrounded feeling. And then we had Vespa Queen coming out using Be Revenge. And I will say this was a little bit surprising for me, Sagittarius. But, you know, Vespa Queen, there is this queen energy. So this could be somebody else, you know, a feminine that is wanting some sort of revenge, but someone has revenge in their heart. So like I said, this could be an external source. We will take a deeper look that it wants revenge or something, which is, of course, is going to make your divine masculine energy, you know, not upright, make it upside down. And yeah, so this could also be your own divine feminine energy that has revenge in its heart for, you know, how the masculine has come through with these soul contracts and repeating, right? Because if you're noticing this repeating pattern and, you know, masculine energy that's in your life just isn't grounded, isn't giving you that stability, that can cause some revenge in the heart of the feminine of like, all right, fine, like, you know, I'm gonna get you because you got me, or, you know what I mean? So yeah, there's some interesting energy popping out already, Sagittarius, but that is what came out to be cleansed during February. So for this month's reading, what we are going to do is look into what emotion is pouring out of your jug, right? The Aquarian jug. We're in Aquarius season, which is all about, you know, collecting the water, collecting the emotion, and then pouring it out of the jug. So we are going to take a look into what emotion is pouring out of your jug, and then we will look into what is the problem with that. What's the blockage of that emotion and the situation? And then in the extended, we will look into how to analyze the situation. And then we will look at how do we best apply this analysis to your life in order to help you and kind of look at some bigger picture themes of all of humanity. Because Aquarius season is about, you know, looking at the bigger picture and how to apply it to things outside of ourselves that help us understand how to fix it inside ourselves, right? Macrocosm, microcosm type thing. And then, of course, we will look at some advice on how to manifest your highest vibrational timeline. So let's get started. What emotion is pouring out of Saggy's jug right now? We have Lilil, the angel of night. Yeah, so, you know, Sagittarius, you've been going through your shadow work for quite some time, and I really do commend you, excuse me, especially since I think it was this past September. It's really been kind of in the trenches. So it does look like, you know, in terms of emotions, you are still going through that shadow phase. You are, you know, going through the dark night of the soul and doing your shadow work. So I just want to let you know, I'm very, very proud of you for really going into it and not being flighty about it. You know, a lot of people will get into their shadow work, you know, they start going down and they're afraid to keep going down, you know, and so they just get out of it. Oh no, I'm giving up my healing journey. I'm giving up my spiritual journey. And you are not like that. Like I'm getting goosebumps. Like I can just feel your Sagittarian, like I'm moving forward. Like just keep shooting the arrow into the darkness. Like eventually I'm going to hit that target. But that's beautiful. So yeah, you're still doing your shadow work. Let's see. Tell us more about these emotions. We have the Eight of Pentacles and the Three of Chalices. So the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, you know, again, we have this cycle. So it looks like you have broken some sort of cycle here, and it is bringing you joy. So that's amazing. The Eight of Pentacles upright, this has to do with working in the physical realm. So repeating something over and over and over again and making the same kind of material. So this can be, you know, doing the same thing over, kind of like the mundane at a job, you know, even though this does talk about someone, you know, what they like to do, crafting and things like that. So, there is some sort of physical situation. It could be money, could be housing, could be physical relationship, but, you know, in general, this is, again, like crafting or working, or hobbies. And it seems like you've kind of gotten out of them. Like, you know, like maybe you used to like throwing clay all the time and you're like, now I don't want to do that anymore. So it seems like things that have repeated over in the past, physically, you're stopping. You're really understanding, like, okay, like, you know what, that doesn't necessarily bring me joy anymore. And it looks like you're really trying to focus on what does bring you joy. And you're kind of letting every physical thing go, whether that's physical relationships or work or whatever. Excuse me, I need to drink some water. And that is really, you know, what is happening in your dark night of the soul. You're finding what no longer suits you as a repeating pattern of what you're doing physically. And, you know, the Three of Chalices here, this can mean there's a third party situation, but the Three of Chalices is merriment, enjoyment, you know, celebration, all these really happy, positive emotions. So it does seem like, you know, in your dark night of the soul, you're releasing anything that doesn't bring you this joy, that doesn't make you want to celebrate it. I will also say the Three of Cups, especially because all of a sudden I got parched, can mean that you know, are still kind of living it up by, you know, maybe altering your state of consciousness, drinking or things like that, and kind of giving up on, you know, creative projects and instead kind of indulging in what is making your nervous system happy or what makes it feel stable. But this is good. You're really trying to find what brings you joy. We have Gumi using Stampede. So it's a dragon type, so this can mean twin flame type energy. And Stampede does mean that there are like, it's a fairy type attack, right? And fairies are like soulmates. You know, you do this, I do that. So it does look like you're breaking off, you know, like you're being stampeded with relationships, right? Whether that's a soul contract that you have with a particular person, or it could be a soul contract that you have with like, you know, a certain craft or certain work thing. And it looks like you're really being stampeded by all of this, you know, energy, and you are breaking all cycles of things that have been repeating that don't bring you joy. It's like you really only want people in your world that, you know, would celebrate with you. People, right? And they're doing magic, right? Under the full moon. And, you know, people who you would trust your manifestations with, and that you have a mutual something that you're trying to manifest is what I'm getting. So this is a really good part of, you know, shadow work. It does kind of hurt when you're realizing all of these relationships kind of stampeding, but it says it's covered in a slimy membrane that makes any punches or kicks slide off it harmlessly. Yeah, so honestly, it feels like if anyone tries to put up a fight, you know, kicking and screaming, acting like a child of, you know, the way that you're like, no, you know, this no longer brings me joy. It's kind of like, I forget what her name is, like Maya Kondo or something, where it's like, this brings me joy. This does not bring me joy. It feels like that's kind of what you're doing. You're just like sorting people. And like, if people put up this fight, like you just have this kind of membrane over you where it's like, whatever, like you want to try to kick and punch me, metaphorically, of course, like it just slides right off. So you're really letting like water slide off the duck's back. That's awesome, Saggy. All right, let's see. What's in the shadow? Gyarados using Aquatail. Okay, so here's the shadow work. It's the things in the past, how you are recognizing different relationships of the past, and it's causing this, you know, even though this is a water type, Gyarados is dragon. So again, there's a lot of dragon type energy. It does really give me some twin flame vibes. But Aquatail, as I mentioned, is all about, you know, emotions of the past, because tails I always take as things coming from the past. So yeah, that's the shadow work. It's like, yeah, you're fine, like kind of letting it go, but it's still like in the trenches when you consider all of the emotions in the past that didn't bring you joy. And it's kind of like, oh, like really, I let people treat me like that? It says rarely seen in the wild. So it looks like you're not really going out much, Sag. It says huge and vicious. It is capable of destroying entire cities in rage. So when we have this, you know, destroying entire cities type energy, I take that as multiple tower moments. So yeah, you are kind of letting this kind of slip off of you. You might be, you know, altering your state of consciousness to kind of cope with maybe the pain of like breaking any sort of repetitive cycles. The most important part is you're breaking those cycles. But this is a very, very emotional time, really kind of stuck in the past and allowing all of these tower moments to happen. Like, it just seems more than like tower moments actually happening in the present. It's like you're seeing the construction of, you know, the towers that were built in different relationships. What was the basis of them? How are they benefiting you? What are the cycles that were repeated in order to build this tower of, you know, relationship, friendship, love, romantic interest? And by going into your past and kind of taking toll of the situation, that's what the tower moments are, because you're seeing things from a different point of view in the shadow and just knocking these towers down one by one. Whew, there can be some rage, you know, and maybe that's why it's this Three of Chalices of like, I don't want to feel that way anymore. I only want to go towards what makes me happy. Which is a great place to be, Saggy. I'm so proud of you for how far you've come, seriously. All right, well, let's see. Well, what's the problem with this? What's the blockage? Yeah, stuck left, the Angel of Verdancy in reverse. So, yeah, it's basically just, it feels like the pain of understanding what did not work and how long you've kept yourself in an environment that is not good for you or good for anybody, right? Because, like, the Angel of Verdancy teaches us about how to maintain a healthy ecosystem. This is like, you know, the needs of the tree and the needs of the elk and the needs of the insects and the humans, right? It's all different, but it all comes together to form a, you know, a symbiotic relationship with all of nature based on different needs and gives and takes and stuff in order to have this verdancy and, you know, ecosystem that functions for all, right? And because you're taking, you know, toll of everything and relationships in the past that do not serve you and causing these tower moments of like, nope, I'm never having that type of relationship again. I'm not going to keep repeating that pattern with this person. It does cause some kind of distress to understand, you know, the kind of toxicity that has been in the environment where people are not, you know, in symbiotic relationships, right? Where only one person is benefiting. Woo, coming out stuck as the lovers. Yeah, so especially when it comes to love. And it feels like that's kind of the hardest part is, you know, it feels like you're still stuck in love with someone, even though you know that's not it's not a symbiotic relationship. You're both not benefiting from it. Likely only they are benefiting from it. So yeah, it does look like that's the issue. You know, you're breaking all these patterns, which is beautiful, but you're still stuck in love with something that's not good. Or not healthy, I should say. What's the light energy here? Yeah, we have Clefable using double slap. So we have, you know, our fairy type coming out. So this indicates some soulmates. So, you know, it's like this is a double slap in the face. You know, not just in love, but it could be maybe about moving somewhere new as well, because as you can see, they are, you know, moving into a new place. But this, it feels like this has to do with two separate people. One could definitely be your twin, and one can be a soulmate here as well. Which is great, because that means your soulmate is getting you one step closer to your twin. Okay, but anyway, so double slap, yeah, this is definitely like a slap on both cheeks is what I'm getting. And as you can see, Clefairy is like, look how Hypno's in the back. Hypno hypnotizes, and Clefairy is just like, you know, really, you know, like hypnotize. So I feel like that's kind of how you are understanding the blockage, is that you've been hypnotized by somebody to make you think, oh yeah, it works for you, when really it doesn't. Okay, someone definitely has kind of, you know, woo, look into the watch kind of thing, and has hypnotized you. Clefairy is the Pokemon that, you know, worships the moon as well. So, you know, working with, you know, Lilial and the Angel of Night, it does feel like, you know, part of it is like, it feels like there is some sort of like hypnotic sort of thing that you found in the dark that has kind of still hypnotized you, and it has to do with love. Let's see what this says. It says the moonlight that it stores in its wings on its back apparently gives it the ability to float in midair. Yeah, so that's exactly how I was feeling. You know how I was like, you know, you're not feeling grounded, you're just kind of up in the air, and that's what all the shadow work has kind of done, where it's like, you know, you've had so much shadow work and been doing so much shadow work, and then on top of all this air, right, storing in the wings, like, which yes allows you to fly, right? It's all that Aquarian air where you're just kind of like floating and kind of like in suspended animation, honestly, like can't get grounded. And it does feel like whoever this person was, this soulmate relationship that was able to like hypnotize or whatever and kind of confuse you a little bit. Yeah, that's not that great. And I'm wondering, that might be about the bee revenge sort of thing, because I haven't really picked up on that, you know, revenge type stuff. Although, I mean, we do have these tower moments, but it doesn't feel like you have revenge in your heart necessarily. But let's see. What's the shadow here? Maybe the shadow will tell us otherwise. We have Maractus using Exciting Shake. So we do have the heart chakra coming out. So it feels like your heart chakra, it gets excited, right? It shakes and gets excited. It's the way that your, you know, what gets your nervous system going, that gets your heart rate up, is what I'm getting. And feeling, you know, like ungrounded, it seems like whatever, like, okay. It's like the way that your nervous system was programmed into what love should be was someone hypnotizing you, thinking that your nervous system, like, you know, like, oh, my heart's beating, and oh, like I'm up in the air and I feel like I can fly, right? And that was taught to you as love, but that's not love, right? Love is grounded, love is peaceful, love is the angel of verdancy, where everything is a symbiotic and cohesive, you know, ecosystem. So yeah, the blockage is that it's really causing you to, one, be up in the air and not be grounded, and for your heart to be shaking, which is not good. It says it uses an up-tempo song and dance to drive away bird Pokemon that prey on its flowers' seeds. So I'm kind of getting, it's the same kind of hypnotism thing of, like, you know, using up-tempo song and dance to drive away Pokemon. So, like, it's kind of this hypnotism of, like, oh, yeah, just, you know, love, 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 you know, and it reminds me of this Three of Chalices of, yes, you are, you know, pushing away cycles that does not serve you and only focusing on what brings you joy and stuff. And it seems like maybe, you know, listening to upbeat music and, you know, dancing and stuff like that is helping you lift your mood. But it seems, I'm going to pull one more. Tell us more about this. Bounce back. Okay. So it's a fighting type. Yeah, it seems like what you're doing to lift your spirits in terms of whatever this, like, kind of hypnotic love situation that you feel stuck in is actually causing you to bounce backwards and go kind of backwards in your shadow work. Okay, because this is a fighting type, which is saying this is kind of like fighting the natural course of things. And as you can see, it looks like he's wearing like a fake nose. So I do take this as like wearing a false mask. It says it freely controls 3 mini units called mini nosing using magnetic force. Yeah, so it talks about, you know, controlling others, again, with this hypnotism. So there could be some sort of third-party situation that is really involved with, you know, you breaking your cycles, but there is some sort of hypnosis going on here. So yeah, we're definitely going to have to take a deeper look into that. Because yeah, really, really interesting energy here, Sag. But like I said, we'll see what Archangel wants to take us into the extended. But like I said, in the extended, we're going to see how do we analyze this situation, and then how do we apply that analysis to help you out, and then some advice on how to manifest your highest vibrational timeline. So let's see what Archangel wants to take us into the extended. We have crystal clear intentions, Archangel Michael. Be clear about what you desire and focus on it with unwavering faith. Yeah, so the thing is because you might be up in the air and not grounded, it might be hard for you to figure out exactly what you want, right? Especially when there is some sort of hypnosis going on and someone, you know, someone controlling the power of 3 here is what I'm getting. Especially when it comes to whatever you're stuck in love. So be very, very clear about what you desire, okay? And then focus on it with unwavering faith. That is the best way to move forward. And we are going to take Archangel Michael into the extended. If you would like to follow us there, the link is in the description box below. And if we part ways here, good luck with the situation. I am sending you so much love, a big hug, and a kiss on your third eye. Mwah.